President Bongbong Marcos shrugged off the announcement of his Vice President Sara Duterte that 3 members of her family are running for the Senate in 2025. He also insists that the UniTeam alliance remains intact. Maricel Halili with the big story.
It's a free country. They're allowed to do whatever it is they want.
This was President Marcos's response to the announcement that 3 Dutertes are planning a Senate run in 2025. These are former President Rodrigo, Davao City 1st District Congressman Paulo, and Davao City Mayor Baste Duterte. Vice President Sara Duterte also said that her brother Baste also has plans to run for president in 2028. But for President Marcos, it's still too early to talk about this.
May pang mangyayari between now and 2028. And the only real situation will become clear in October sa filing.
Recall that Mayor Baste has become one of the staunchest critics of President Marcos. He has repeatedly called Marcos names in prayer rallies in Davao. And he has also called for the president's resignation back in January. That's why since VP Sara resigned from Marcos's cabinet, their allies have been branding the Dutertes as the new opposition. But despite the seeming rift between the Dutertes and the Marcoses, the president still believes that their UniTeam is still intact.
The UniTeam is still there, and if you look at the structure of the parties that ran together in the last election, that really hasn't changed.
But looking at the political parties who have renewed their alliance agreements under the UniTeam for the 2025 elections, only Marcos's Partido Federal and House Speaker Romualdez's Lakas, CMD remain. VP Sara's hukbong ng pagbabago and former President Joseph Estrada's Puwersa ng Masang Pilipino do not sign this alliance agreement. They were instead replaced by the Nationalist People's Coalition, the party of former Senate President Tito Soto. Marcos notes, though, that the UniTeam remains open for VP Sara, but he says this will depend on the Vice President's political decisions.
Depende kung saan siya papanig. That will determine whether or not that will be the biggest change in the UniTeam. Na kung mawala sa UniTeam si Inday Sara, yun ang pinakamalaking change kung sakali man.
As for the cabinet position vacated by the Vice President, Marcos says he will announce a new DepEd secretary by the end of this week. The president said he did try to talk to the Vice President about her resignation, but simply respected her position.
She said, wag na lang natin pag-usapan. So I did not force the issue.